Hi, this is my friend Andres Martinez. He is from Caracas, Venezuela, and worked in banking before coming to SOM. He has been called a motivating dictator, and he doesn't disagree.
And this is my friend Zaina. She went to Yale undergrad and is now a Silver Scholar in the program. She's from Sun Valley, Idaho, and I think she's going to be one of the biggest fundraisers for nonprofits in the world.
This is my friend Yolanda. She's from Hong Kong and worked as a compliance officer in an investment bank before coming to SOM. She is pretty observant and always wanted to be a detective as a little child.
This is Divesh. He's from New Delhi, India. He was doing non-profit consulting prior to coming to SOM, and he wanted to retire by 40 in the Himalayas.
Hi, this is Jeevan. He's from Malaysia, and prior to coming to SOM, he was working at Accenture in Singapore. He is currently seeking a support group for aspiring amateur comedians.
Hi, this is Ted. He's from San Francisco, and he used to work for corporate strategy in YouTube and Goldman Sachs. He's from a family of ballroom dancers, but he doesn't dance.
Hey, this is Katie. She's from New York City, used to work at Goldman Sachs, and makes a mean plate of spaghetti and meatballs.
And this is Ryan. He's originally from Buffalo, New York, and as we learned this week, he absolutely, all the time, compulsively beatboxes. So over the next few minutes, the reenactments and interviews with experts in our behavior, namely us. We're going to be assessing our strengths and weaknesses and talk about how we plan to make Team Thread the best it can possibly be.
Hi guys, we have a really big task today, so I think we're going to need to get really organized. Are you good at PowerPoint? You look like you're really probably good at PowerPoint. I need you to work on the graphics.
Sure.
You are a Silver Scholar. Do you want to take some notes about this task? What about?
I think we should at least introduce ourselves first.
Yeah. Seems like a good idea.
That's right, guys. Sorry.
During the Global Communications Challenge, we were operating off of first impressions, which may have limited our ability to optimally delegate tasks. As we've gotten to know one another better in and outside of class, we've become more aware of what our diverse perspectives are and how we might be able to use them in the future. Over time, as a group, we will strive to move from knowing our public personas to understanding our deeper hidden and even blind selves.
After seeing our insight results, we discovered that our team is predominantly made up of observers, with only a few representatives from the other personality types. Most team members also self-identify as introverts or ambiverts.
We have benefited from two universal strengths that each member of our team possesses: the ability to actively, attentively, and sincerely listen to one another, and the ability to genuinely reciprocate respect for one another.
As Hackman said in the design of work teams, a group is most likely to succeed when the group has an appropriate number of members with a sufficient mix of skills. Had we taken an inventory sooner, we would have realized just how many different skills we possess collectively, and we would have been able to divide our project work more appropriately. Now that we're aware of our skills and the places we have on the insight wheel, we'll ensure our group roles are tailored to each member's strengths and the areas they want to develop. We'll only deepen our knowledge of each other and the dynamics of the group as a whole as we spend more time working together.
Hold on, guys.
No, guys! No! We put the triangle for the top! No!
This is the triangle! No! Hold on, this is how...
Thankfully, we did not do this. Due to the rules of the activity, a hierarchy was forced upon us, which went against our natural egalitarian tendencies. During the phase of the activities where the workers and the managers could not communicate, the workers divided the labor, assigning two people with the sole task of communication. They instructed the team efficiently and were vital to our success.
Just as Anthony Bourdain articulates that his rigid and hierarchical kitchen system allows his team to respond to crisis and manage high-stress situations exceedingly well, we naturally fell into a hierarchy when time is running out. An overly egalitarian attempt to put together the tanagram puzzle would have resulted in absolute chaos and an overall loss of efficiency and quality.
So far, we found that we're able to adapt to different structures when forced, though we revert to an unquestioned egalitarian model on our own. As we've learned from the Orpheus reading, when there is no structured leadership, groups don't work efficiently. To be more efficient, we need leaders to step up and lead meetings. Additionally, to keep ourselves on schedule, we will assign the role of timekeeper to one person in each meeting. We plan to achieve meeting objectives by the preset meeting end time at least 80% of the time.
Our team has great unspoken norms. We really respect each other, and when someone speaks, the rest of the team listens. We're currently in the process of formalizing these team norms. Our team has a natural, egalitarian way of communicating with each other. Every member is free to express their ideas and thoughts. No one tries to dominate the conversation, and we try to contribute as much as we can to every project.
During the exercise, a team member proposed an important idea. However, since we are so tight on time and a majority of the team disagreed, we quickly moved on to the next item. This concept of majority influence or conformity is highlighted by Kitayama and Bernstein.
We saw a great synergy in our team. The average individual score was 56.5, while the team score was 38, outperforming our expert team member score of 40. Obviously, we work better as a team than as individuals.
Our team works very well under time constraints. We only had 30 minutes to come up with the best solution possible. We need to go through all 15 items and let everyone express their ideas. As time was running out, we all stood up and rushed to the whiteboard to visualize our own rankings. Even though we were in a rush, everyone was so focused and willing to contribute, and we still ended up in a good position.
Kosher and Swank argue that cognitive conflict improves organizations' decision-making, which makes sense. We've had a very cohesive and synergistic group thus far, but we do wonder if we don't have enough disagreement. So we think that by assigning one person in each meeting to be devil's advocate, we can improve the quality of our output, and that person can ensure that we spark a culture of what Gavin Rawl, the CEO of Exxon, dubs healthy disrespect.
Team Thread's egalitarian tendencies resulted in highly creative work for the Global Communications Challenge, as first evidenced by an unconstrained idea brainstorm and construction of an attractive presentation. The group was also supported by the individual skills of members possessing them. We achieved early success despite operating under first impressions and received the most votes in our cohort. We would highlight the creativity of the idea, the quality of production, and compelling communication as the keys to success. The Tanagram Corporation challenged the team's nature by forcing us into a hierarchical structure. Surprisingly, Thread was able to quickly adapt to the changing circumstance. Management proved skillful at delegating specific roles, leveraging each worker's skill, and providing instructions that allowed no room for error. We were one of 3 teams in the red cohort to finish, and we were the fastest team, more than 2 minutes faster
we
than
survived
the hurricane with the strongest synergy in our cohort and exposed interesting insights about our patterns of influence. In Thread, the collective is clearly greater than the sum of its members. Each individual input, converted into a collective structure, and adhering to a relevant process can and probably will guarantee quality production, groundbreaking experience, and ultimately significant organizational gains.